Donald Trump's trip to Kenosha was supposed to be him, strong leader, giving the people who want a fascist America exactly what they want. But he couldn't even get that right. The entire thing, top to bottom, was not just offensive, it was deeply ridiculous and embarrassing. And I want to show you an example of this. We've been talking for some time about the threat posed by Antifa super soldiers, but we were spelling super wrong, it turns out. Here's Trump.
It's water. And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right?
Yes, sir.
And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup for my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. These are just protesters. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No, and by the way, the media knows it better than we do. They know what's going on. I don't know what's wrong with them. They're doing our country.
Yeah. So, okay, soup. Hey, so there's this guy who sits in the White House who just maybe even yesterday said, 2 days ago, he said they're paintballs. They're not bullets. They're paintballs, and talking about his supporters that driving through protests, shooting paintballs at people with paintball guns that look like guns. So paintballs aren't lethal though; they can't kill you. Police are firing, have been, and firing all kinds of rubber bullets at people, destroying people's faces and eyes and stuff. They fire all kinds of non-lethal weapons at people, and that's okay. Hey, so whatever this soup can thing is that he came up, we're gonna first go off with that BS, but fine, we'll go with the soup cans. I'm not sure if soup cans can kill people, and I'm not sure how weak Donald Trump is, but I can throw a brick, same way I can throw a soup can.
Well,
I don't know what that line was, like, oh, bricks are too heavy to throw, but a soup can is. What are we talking about?
A brick doesn't have force behind it like a can of Chef Boyardee does, you idiot. Obviously, wait. And you're acting like, okay, I understand it's generally you eat a can of soup, but that doesn't mean it's not a weapon of mass destruction. Don't you remember when Luke Skywalker beamed the Death Star with a can of chili? It's great that Trump is trying to protect us at the southern border with his wall, but man, if someone in Juarez ever gets a can of chili, the whole thing like dominoes. What? Oh my God. And here's the thing. His Antifa like plane filled up with soldiers thing was from some guy in Iowa's Facebook post. So I don't yet know exactly where the soup thing comes from, but I have a pretty good idea. I'm sure Ben Collins of NBC News is gonna track it down. It's gonna be I'm not gonna swear, some individual in Kentucky picks up a can of soup and says, Antifa threw this at me. I swear to God, that is gonna be the source of this embarrassing rant from Donald Trump about how the real threat is not cops shooting you in the back, it's that someone once threw a can of soup.
They threw a can of soup.
We're an embarrassment, honestly. And God, I know. If Joe Biden becomes president, it does not solve all of our problems, and it will still require years of activism and work to try to push him in the right direction until he can be replaced by someone who actually takes the problem seriously in the way we need. But it would be nice on one level to not have a day of news about the soup or about the planes or about whatever, to have something approaching sane governance.
Man, hey, wait until these Antifa start throwing pigs in a blanket at these guys. It's gonna be anarchy.
Just coat them in a little bit of oil and stings. It stings.
Yep, it slaps off you and it just slides. Oh, it's devastating.
They think, and again, I know if we're gonna devolve into a sort of Christian fascist state founded around a strong man, this guy,
a weak man,
the soup guy, the Campbell's guy, The soup Nazi. He's the one that's going to take down America. What a pathetic end.
He's the soup Nazi. This is perfect.
Yes. Antifa, no soup for you. That's what he's saying. And I understand it. I know. Just like Dan made a great point in the show yesterday. I understand it's a distraction, which is why we're gonna turn to the more serious later. But he's in Kenosha where people are dying. And he's got soup for us. Okay. Imagine a plane filled with soup. Imagine what you could do with that. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.